vehicle came by and stopped right here by these.
That is somebody's.
The first video tonight comes from Rick and his van, a UK van life and camping channel focused on simple overnight park-ups, rural stopovers and road trips, often exploring locations tied to local history and haunted reputations. It is January 14th, 2024, in Hartley Modded, Hampshire, England, United Kingdom. Rick arrives at Hartley Modded, a location known both for its history and its reputation as one of Hampshire's most haunted villages. He explains that most of the original village and manor house have disappeared, leaving St. Leonard's Church as the only major structure still standing. Local stories describe hidden cellar remains, underground passages, ghostly coach sightings, and even reports of music coming from the church at night.
I mean, it's pitch black. I'll show you. Right, look that up. Remember what happened the last gate that we had? Okay, it looks slightly different at night.
Once night falls, Rick leaves the van and walks around St. Leonard's Church with a torch. The churchyard feels noticeably different in the dark. Stained glass windows glow faintly from inside, while gravestones fade into the surrounding darkness. He moves cautiously, listening for anything unusual, but the tension comes primarily from the isolation, limited visibility, and the knowledge of what once stood nearby.
Sorry. I mean to swear then. It's got to be an owl that's in the trees. It's got to be an owl that's in the trees. There you go.
A sudden loud noise breaks the silence. It startles Rick immediately, causing him to jump before quickly suggesting it may have been an owl. Despite the explanation, the moment clearly unsettles him, as the source of the sound remains unseen in the darkness. As he returns toward the van, the tension continues. Rustling sounds follow him through the trees, growing louder as he moves. When he shines his torch into the darkness, 3 small points of light reflect back at him. He considers that they could be animal eyes, but never confirms what caused the movement.
I've got to make some dinner in the van. Hang on. Got a slight issue. I was going to make some dinner in the back of the van, and then there was a guy pulled up in a Defender and said to me that I can't stay here. When I asked why, let me just get out of the space. When I asked why, his words to me were, "This is the fishing club's car park and you can't stay here tonight, mate, can you go?" And I was just like, okay, well, there's no one else here. I'm going to be gone first thing. And he refused to let me stay and said that I'll be blocked in. Well, there we go. The bloody light's fallen down. Right, so change of plan. I'm going to have to try and find somewhere else to sleep. So currently, driving down through the... So we're currently driving down through the middle of nowhere. I've got no idea where I'm going. I'm going to have to try and find somewhere else to park up and get me dinner. So I'll be back with you momentarily, as they say. I mean, it's like 10 o'clock at night. It's like, come on, do you know what I mean? You let me stay there, but all right, I guess, you know, if it's your land, it's your land, then you don't want me staying there, that's fine.
The most direct encounter of the night comes unexpectedly. Just as Rick prepares to settle in, a man arrives in a Land Rover Defender and informs him that he cannot stay, as the area is a fishing club car park. With the risk of being blocked in, Rick decides to leave and continues driving through the countryside late at night to find another place to park. The night at Hartley Maudit doesn't produce any clear paranormal evidence, but the setting creates a strong sense of unease. Darkness around the church, unexplained noises, and the distant lights in the trees all contribute to a tense atmosphere. However, the most disruptive moment comes not from the location itself, but from being forced to leave unexpectedly. Relocating to Chawton, Rick finds a quieter and more welcoming place to stay. By morning, the mood has completely shifted, turning what began as a haunted exploration into a reminder that in van life, the most unsettling moments aren't always paranormal. Sometimes, it's simply the unpredictability of where you can stay. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from Jamie Does Wild Bikepacking, a UK outdoor adventure channel focused on solo bikepacking, wild camping, and overnight trips. It is March 11th, 2026 in Norfolk, England, United Kingdom. Jamie drives through rural Norfolk searching for a quiet and legal place to stay for the night. His first planned spot near a scenic viewpoint is ruled out due to restrictions on overnight parking. Forced to improvise, he heads toward a more remote area near Peddars Way, surrounded by woodland.
I don't know what the hell's going on tonight. I can hear all sorts of weird singing going on in those woods.
While outside the van, something unusual breaks the silence. Faint singing or chanting can be heard coming from the surrounding woods. At first, Jamie reacts lightly, but the sound feels out of place in such an isolated area.
What's going on under there? That's what we'll talk about tonight. Bugger that.
Curiosity takes over briefly. Jamie considers heading into the woods to investigate the source of the sound, but hesitates, unsure whether it's safe. He prepares to take a closer look. However, as he steps away from the van, the isolation and atmosphere quickly change his mind. He decides against exploring further and returns to the safety of his vehicle.
Just got out of the van to have a piss. What the f*** is that? There's a light in the bloody woods now. I'll tell you what, this.
What begins as a routine solo camping trip gradually becomes more unsettling. The unexplained sounds and distant light introduce a level of uncertainty that shifts the experience from peaceful to tense. While nothing is directly confirmed, the combination of audio and visual cues is enough to make the situation feel unpredictable. In the end, Jamie chooses caution over curiosity, staying inside his van and avoiding further risk. The night ends without answers, but with the clear impression that the woods were not as empty as they first seemed. The next chilling video comes from Expedite Travels, a North American van life and expediting channel documenting solo adventures, freight deliveries, and real experiences on the road. It is October 9th, 2020 in South Memphis RV Park and Ark Trail, Mississippi, United States. The vlogger begins exploring a trail near a lake, passing benches and a pavilion along the way. The area is open, quiet, and noticeably empty. He comments on the peaceful surroundings noting that the trail is monitored but accessible at all hours. As he continues walking, the calm environment creates a steady atmosphere, one that feels relaxed but slightly uneasy due to the complete lack of other people.
Alright guys, I just had something freaky ass crap happen to me, and I am not lying. This is not a joke. I know I messed around before about the Bigfoot thing on one of my other videos, so I'm not really, I guess, creditable, but I was walking and I seen, I don't even know how to explain it, man. It was like a red, it almost looked like somebody wearing like a red jacket, or you know what I mean, like a jacket, like it was far off in the distance. And
the environment changes almost instantly. The woods fall into an unnatural silence. Birdsong fades, and the usual background noise disappears, replaced by faint rustling that cannot be clearly located.
Started to walk back this way and see if it was something. I missed something. Maybe it was a tag or something on a tree, or somebody put some kind of marker or something up. And I couldn't see nothing. It was gone when I came back. It's like dead quiet here. That's not good. Usually there's like flies around me, but usually there's birds chirping close by. It's like
more movement is heard behind him. Subtle shifts in the brush and intermittent noises keep him alert. Occasional birds return briefly, but the inconsistency only adds to the uncertainty.
like a loud, almost like whistle or screech or something. It was freaking weird, man. I don't know, like the hair on the back of my neck is standing up, like somebody, I feel like somebody's watching me. It's like dead quiet. The only thing you can hear is the airplane. That was like before, when I started hearing stuff, branches cracking and stuff like that. It's dead quiet in here now. And it was when I first came in, you could hear birds, and this is near the exit. It's about, I don't know, 2-minute walk or something. So there's
a sharp, high-pitched whistle or screech cuts through the silence. The sound echoes across the trail, intensifying the sense that something may be nearby. With visibility limited and no clear explanation, the moment becomes the peak of the encounter. What begins as a calm walk through a quiet trail quickly turns into something far more unsettling. The appearance of the distant figure, followed by silence, knocks, and unexplained sounds, transforms the experience into a tense solo encounter. While no clear source is ever identified, the sequence of events creates a strong sense of unease. Returning to the campsite, the vlogger resumes normal activity, but reflects on how quickly a peaceful environment can shift into something unpredictable when alone in the woods. The next shocking video of the night comes from Travel Light Adventures, a US-based travel and adventure channel showcasing immersive van life, off-grid camping, and road trips across scenic locations. It is March 17th, 2026, in Santa Fe, New Mexico, United States.
Across the southwestern U.S. and I'm waking up here at my campsite. I just can't get over how beautiful it is. There were some things that happened last night that would deter me from ever staying here again. One thing I saw online about this campsite before I came here was that it's an unofficial gun range of sorts, but people said the firing usually happens way out there and around the corner. And when I got here, that's exactly what was going on. There was no gunfire close by. Everything was fine. Well, or so I thought. After winding down for the night, I crawled into my tent, and then that's when things begun. At about 2:30 in the morning.
In the early hours of the morning, the situation changes instantly. Around 2:30 a.m., multiple gunshots are fired into the ground, just feet from his tent. Moments later, a vehicle speeds past the campsite. The sudden noise and proximity immediately wake him, turning the quiet night into a high-stress situation.
About 20 minutes later, they came back and did the same exact thing. I was annoyed by this point, so I honked the horn on my car with my key fob, and they got out of here real fast, which tells me what they were doing was not up to any good. On the outside chance that the collective goal of those people was to tell me that I'm not welcome to camp here, congratulations. I will never, ever camp in this spot again. Thank you. All right. Now that that's out of the way and we've debriefed a little bit, let's make some breakfast and get the heck out of Dodge. Breakfast eaten, all packed up, teeth brushed, deodorant applied. We're ready to roll. God, it is a shame that the experience here was so terrible because this is just beautiful. Minus the power lines, it's just gorgeous.
The night shifts from calm to genuinely unsettling in a matter of minutes. Unexpected gunfire and suspicious behavior from nearby vehicles transform what should have been a routine overnight stop into a situation where safety becomes the priority. After leaving, the camper relocates to a more secure area and continues his journey, later exploring Santa Fe and visiting local attractions. The experience serves as a reminder that while free camping offers freedom and scenery, it can also come with unpredictable risks that require constant awareness. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from American Renegade, a US-based van life and nomadic living channel documenting real, unscripted experiences on the road, from daily routines to unexpected encounters in isolated locations. It is February 23rd, 2016, in the southwestern United States at a remote parking spot. Alton is parked in a quiet, secluded area he often uses, settling in for a calm evening. Inside the van, everything feels routine. He sits in his usual spot, eating soup and responding to comments. The environment is still and peaceful, with no indication that anything unusual is about to happen.
Place where I normally park, and they seemed to get out. I think it was two people, but they got out of the car. I couldn't see all that. Like I said, they were parked, right on the other side of the van here. And then all of a sudden, I feel the van move, just a tiny little rock. So I figured, okay, well, he got out and maybe stumbled into the van or, something. So then it happened again. The van kind of rocked a little bit. And then all of a sudden...
Looking toward the back of the van, Alton notices something unsettling. A shadowy figure appears near the rear storage box, where he keeps an expensive generator. The possibility of someone attempting to interfere with the van turns the situation serious.
This bad boy here, because I didn't, at the time, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if somebody was trying to get into the box or whatever. So yeah, I thought I was going to have to start cracking some heads,
For a moment, he considers leaving. Instead, he holds position, keeping the headlights fixed on the area while assessing the situation, ready to move if necessary.
And I happened to look out the window and the car was gone. I was like, oh, well, okay. So I pulled back in the way I was and I backed into the same spot.
Then, just as quickly as it began, the tension fades. The people nearby leave and upon checking the back of the van, Alton realizes what caused the movement. Someone had simply sat on the rear storage box, leaving a slight indentation that caused the van to rock. What initially feels like a potential threat turns out to be harmless, but not without impact. The sudden movement, the shadowy figure, and the uncertainty of the moment create a brief but intense situation. Even in familiar, quiet locations, unexpected encounters can quickly change the tone of a night. In the end, the experience leaves Alton both shaken and slightly amused, serving as a reminder that life on the road is unpredictable, and sometimes the tension comes not from what happens, but from what it feels like in the moment. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.